Welcome to the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. I want to talk to you today about problems and how problems do not go away. I'm guilty of this, so this is why I'm making this video. You cannot ignore problems, and you have to check to make sure that you do not have problems. And what do I mean by that? A lot of you wake up, shower, shave, poop, eat breakfast, go to work, come home, watch YouTube, and go to bed, right? In the meantime, your taxes are due. Your kid is flunking in school. Your wife isn't feeling fulfilled. Women are used to being the center of attention all of their life. How are you going to have a human being who's used to having being the center of attention all of her life, and then all of a sudden getting married and getting into the rut of go to work, come home, sleep, go to work, come home, sleep, go to work, come home, right? She's going to feel unfulfilled. And this is why, except for the part where women cheat a lot, and this is all in keeping with that, 70% of divorces are filed by women, not men. You cannot ignore problems, and you have to check, and you have to stay on top of problems. Let me give you a personal example. I check my statistics here on YouTube, but I don't look at my statistics. I just go, oh, numbers. Oh, okay. Oh, let me check this. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm just simply ignoring what the data is actually telling me. Now, I'm under attack a lot, but that's to be expected. So anyway, in the course of my day, I would spend tons of hours on Twitter, tons of hours on Facebook. So then finally, I checked my data. Then I checked the sources of the views, or where the views are coming from. Let me tell you where they were not coming from: Twitter and Facebook. So I was spending hours trying to generate interest in Facebook and Twitter from people who are older, who don't use Facebook, who don't use Twitter. And if they have a Twitter account, they just have it. That's all. It's like the people who have a formal dining room with a dining table, 10 or 12 chairs around it, chandelier, and they never, ever eat in that room. Never. They eat in the kitchen, and the kitchen has a little section where you can actually sit and eat with a table. And that is where they eat. They have the formal dining. Yes, they have a formal dining, but they never eat in there. They never use it. They never even go in there. Never. This is how the people that I had following me on Facebook and Twitter never talked, or never around. And then they tell me, oh, I check my Facebook once a month. And I'm wondering why I'm not getting traffic. What's going on now? How am I getting all these people following me? And they have 10 friends on their Facebook. So what do you do in that case? If you were spending hours trying to build your Facebook following, trying to build your Twitter following, and you got no traffic from them, literally none. It said I got 5,000 views from Facebook, 5,000 views in a month. That might sound like a lot to you, but I get 25,000 views a day, period, from other sources. So me spending a whole bunch of hours on Facebook obviously wasn't panning out. So I canceled my Facebook account. The Shakaama Live is still up and running. The Shakaama Live, well, I never spent any time there. It has a following, but I never spent any time on it. There's people over there making comments. There's people over there interacting with each other on the Shakaama Live Facebook page. And that's fine. That's A-okay. Nothing from Twitter at all. Nothing. It's listed on my sources of people who have viewed stuff, but it's like one or two in a whole month. And I was spending hours on Twitter. And the only reason I was on Facebook and Twitter was to try and generate interest in my YouTube account, my YouTube videos. So obviously I was shooting myself in the head. Now that's just one example. That's a problem. Obviously and I said, oh, you know what? I let my website lapse. I was so busy on Facebook and Twitter that I wasn't being about the business of business. I let my major website lapse because I said I didn't have time. So I've canceled the Facebook, canceled the Twitter, the personal accounts. The business accounts are still up. And I'm doing the damn website myself. And probably much better because the people that I contacted to try and do the website for $1,000 or so, they were lackluster. In fact, they were terrible. I mean, it's just stuff that looked like it came from 1990. Websites, web designer, and they have a portfolio. You have a portfolio, but you're not following any of the trends for web design. None of them, not even a one. And your stuff looks like something that has transistors on. Problems do not go away, and you have to stay on top of problems, like the wife, like the kids, like the home. My roommate, he bought solar panels. We thought we were going to have this $200, $300 electric bill go down to $20. Okay, the month after we got it, still $200. Oh, well, that's backdated. So you see, you pay for what you've already used. Okay, all right. Next month, $200. Next month, $200. Next month, $200. Okay, what's going on? But he's lazy, procrastinates. He doesn't get on top of it. So he's paying thousands and thousands, $20,000 for solar panels, but not seeing any return whatsoever on solar panels. And we live in Vegas, so it's definitely sun out. There's sun out now. And it's the middle of what, February? Come on. He just ignored the problem. That's what he does. He ignores the problem. Water heater, solar water heater. Nope. And we don't even use water like that. We don't use hot water like that. A shower, that's it. But he procrastinates. He doesn't stay on top of it. I say, call these people. He's shy and lazy. It's like a death sentence, really. He's too shy. He doesn't want to talk to the people, and he doesn't want to deal with the problem because he's lazy. So he won't call anybody. He won't call his cell phone company. Something's wrong with the cell phone. You can't ignore problems. They don't go away. One of the people on Facebook says the only thing you can ignore and it will go away is brushing your teeth. If you ignore brushing your teeth, they will go away eventually. They will be eaten up by the bacteria or fungus or whatever they've determined this month is the great cause of tooth decay, and they will eventually go away. Nothing else will. You cannot ignore problems. You have to stay on top of them. Now, what does this really have to do? This has to do with business and how people say, I want to go in business, but I don't have the money. I don't have the time. What? Yes, you do. You don't miss not one episode of The Walking Dead. And I believe it's an hour show, something crazy like that, isn't it? You don't miss Friends. You don't miss the Oscars. That's a 3-hour show. Are you telling me I can't watch The Walking Dead? Yes, I'm telling you, you cannot watch The Walking Dead. That's what I'm telling you. That's exactly what I'm telling you. If you are complaining that you don't have money, if you are complaining that you can't start a business, I am very much telling you, you cannot watch The Walking Dead or whatever The Walking Dead is. There are people who wake up early just so that they can have enough time to stand in line and buy Starbucks. They wake up early before their job. You're telling me you can wake up early for Starbucks, but you can't wake up early to study about business, starting a business? Really? I don't understand stocks. Can you tell me about stocks? It's all over the internet. There are websites dedicated to teaching you about stocks. By the way, I've contacted about 10 or 12 entities, these same websites, these same news organizations, CNN, MSNBC, CNBC. I've contacted all of them about the investing series that I'm going to do. If you're really that lazy, sit back. And I said that I need to have people donate to my Patreon account. It's the first link in the information box. And then somebody said, I can't believe you would ask for money. Oh, what? What do you mean you can't believe I would ask for money? To show you how to make thousands of dollars, you can't believe that I would ask for money? For $1? Get out of here. You know what? Go jump off a high cliff into a deep ravine. And a ravine doesn't have water at the end of it, okay? Just so we're all clear about what I'm saying. Yes, if you would donate, this will be exclusive. I'm just going to come out and say it. This will be exclusive to the people who donate to the Patreon account. I can literally create the series on Patreon and deliver it just to Patreon. And only the people who are in Patreon can watch it. So yes, this is serious business. I'm reaching out to companies, interviews, charts. Help me follow the market. A serious series. Say that 3 times fast. You want to sit down and be lazy and watch somebody else do it and not study yourself? I'm going to give you the series where you can do that and that you can learn how to invest in real profit generating stocks in a manner you've never heard before. If you're new to stocks, that is. You can't ignore problems and they won't go away. You can't procrastinate. You can't make excuses. We are headed for economic collapse. You can't sit and just ignore it. We've already had storms that have knocked out power, water, and people say, those preppers are crazy. Really? Come on now. You can't ignore these problems, these issues, and you can't depend on the government or even another private citizen. You can't depend that Walmart will still be open. Isn't it ironic in Katrina, Walmart and Target and all the stores actually were the ones who actually did the most helping of the people. They made sure that they got their product down there, and the truckers risked their trucks to get product down there to those people. You can't ignore signs. You can't ignore problems. You can't ignore impending doom. And for those people says, oh, they're just spreading fear. No, adults understand that problems occur, the problems come along, and that you have to prepare for the inevitable. You have to prepare. You have to safeguard your family. And if your wife doesn't want to be a part of that and she wants to get a divorce, okay, so be it. You need to tell her to go to hell, divorce her, make sure you get a fantastic attorney so she doesn't rape you, because that's all she was about it to begin with, about your money, because she's a freaking lazy slob and she's trying to get alimony and child support and she doesn't even like the kids. I read so many cases about that, where the woman gets the child support and she hates the children. Hates them, and the kids are too young to even understand how much she hates them, and she doesn't take care of them. She doesn't feed them. She doesn't clothe them. She doesn't do anything. I've seen firsthand the woman using the child as a battering ram to hit the ex-husband, literally taking the child's arm and flinging the child into the husband like a slingshot or something, like a flail or something. This is how much this is crazy. These are crazy times. You cannot ignore these problems. And as far as that go, you can't ignore these warning signs when you're dating these women. Who rules the world? Men rule the world. You can't ignore facts. And you can't for the sake of, but I need to be in love. I have needs. Okay, there are women who will fulfill all of those needs. You don't need to marry them. Oh, and I'm not talking about prostitution. I'm talking about women straight up who will be like, I have needs too. Come on, let's get it going. You can't ignore these signs. You can't ignore you're in a relationship and she hits you. You can't ignore that. and then you go on to marry her? No, you can't ignore that. Like Ray Rice, the football guy, he ignored all the warning signs and still married her. What the heck is that about? I would have stepped in as an uncle or a brother or a father or something. I'd be like, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. A lot of this online business will give you all the information that you need to detect a problem. You need to make it a daily habit of going and looking at that data, looking at that information. And although billions of people go to Facebook and billions of people go to Twitter, you need to have the guts to say, Twitter's not working for me. It doesn't work for everybody. You know what? In Vegas, not everybody is a winner. There's a winner every day, but not everybody is a winner, right? People win the jackpot, but not everybody wins the jackpot. You have to have the balls to say, Twitter is not working for me. Cancel this account. I am spending time, which equals money, into Twitter and not getting a return on it. You have to have the balls to say, Twitter's not working for me. Cancel the account. Facebook isn't working for me. Cancel the account. Now, there's people who are going to listen to me and say, oh, you have to build it up. I've had a Twitter account and a Facebook account before I had a YouTube account. Is that enough time? Obviously not working for me. Obviously. It's just like a relationship. You have to have the balls to say, nope, this is not working out. And weaker men, I've heard so many weak black men in particular, but she has a nice booty. I can excuse a lot. No. You know what? The next girl has a nice booty. And you know what? There's about 5,000 women with nicer booties. And you know what? There's 5,000 women more that have nicer booties than those 5,000, and 5,000 more who have nicer booties, and so on and so on. And so there are billions of women on the planet. Billions. There's no reason you should take any gump from a woman. None. Now, why am I speaking to men about women? Because you have an entire organization talking to women about men. And I'm not talking about this men's rights or go your own way. I'm talking about you need to, especially black men, you need to get married, period. But you don't need to get married to the wrong woman. You need to have the balls to say, you know what? You are not working out. Now, I would hope that those of you who have problems in your relationship, after listening to this video, that you would seriously sit down, make a list and say, this is what's going on. I, as a man, will not tolerate this. Honey, goodbye. I'm talking about girlfriend, boyfriend. You need to, yeah. Now, if you're married, you need to go to counseling immediately. You need to initiate that. Oh, I think I heard a statistic that said men initiate a marriage counseling more than women. all of the mantra and the diatribe and all the stuff that you hear on the news about men are so horrible, no. Women file for divorce. Women don't want to go to marriage counseling. Women don't want to have children. Women don't want to work it out. Women don't want commitment. Why? Because they don't need to. They can fulfill all their sexual needs with any Tom, Dick, and Harry. All she has to do is chase the guy. As soon as the guy realizes that she's the one chasing him, it's a done deal. Oh, you're chasing me? You want to have sex with me? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm giving you the real statistics. Men are not the problem. And you need to understand that, men. So this is a problem video. Recognize problems. Have the balls to admit that you have a problem. Have the balls to admit that there is a problem, that there's a problem in your relationship, that there's a problem in business. There's a problem with the way you think about business. I don't have time for business. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. But that would be boring. You're already boring. You go to a job and you stand up for 10 hours. You're boring. You're horribly boring. You hate your job. Yeah, but it's a paycheck. Yeah, it's a paycheck that you hate, which will then means that it causes stress, which stress then kills you 5 years, 7 years, 10 years earlier than normal. That means that all of those years that you're all stressed out and eventually it just kills you, you were stressed out that entire time. So don't work at the job you hate. Make some time for yourself to do something that you could possibly really love. And I'm telling you, if you go into business, a light bulb is going to go out in your off in your head one day, and you're going to be all like, why in the world was I standing up for 10 hours a day working at that job for 10 years? I should have been doing this as soon as I graduated from high school, even before I graduated from high school. That's how amazing working for yourself is. And that's how amazing it is when you don't look at your problems like I did with Facebook and Twitter, that you have to take responsibility and say, and cut the umbilical cord and say, but this isn't working for me. I got to do something. I have to make every second of my life count. And I cannot waste it on putting effort into something that doesn't give me a return. That's business. That's a woman. That's business. That's a woman. If your woman isn't in your boat, she just happens to be in a boat that's going in the same direction at the time, and she's slowly angling off, you need to recognize it. Hey, you're 2 degrees off. Hey, you're 80 degrees off. Oh, bye. Didn't see that coming. Yes, you did. She's yelling. She's insulting you, pushing you, and then one day she hits you. I didn't see that coming. Yes, you did. As soon as you allowed her to yell at you, that opened that door. Then the pushing opened that door, which opened the door to the hitting. Oh, I didn't see that coming. Yes, you did. You ignored the problem. I'm watching these business videos, and the guy literally hired 10 people and never managed them, never oversaw them, never checked their work, never did anything. Just ignored the problem. Guess what happened to his business? Out. Boom. Out. No more business. Ignored the problem. You have to stay on top of it. You have to stay on top of it. Can you imagine? You're in business one day, and then all of a sudden, all of your suppliers, all of your fulfillment says, nope, we're not supplying. Nope, we're not fulfilling. Can you imagine? But he's counting money. The money was coming in. You're not checking your problems. You're not staying on top of your problems, dude. All of a sudden, I want a divorce. What do you mean you want a divorce? We have 5 children, beautiful house. I want a divorce. I didn't see that coming. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You saw that coming when you were dating. Everybody else in the family saw that coming when you were dating, but you didn't want to listen to them. You don't know her like I do. You sound like a battered wife. He really loves me. Or a battered husband, I guess, at this point, because actually, I believe more women beat up their husband than men beat up their wives. But they don't want to say that in the mainstream media because women will go crazy. You saw it when you were dating. Your family saw it when you were dating. I have a friend tell me that his father went and secretly got married. Secretly. Why did he go secret? Literally. So he got remarried after his wife passed and went and secretly got remarried. Secretly. Didn't tell his own children. The uncle came to the children and said, you know how your dad walked out the other day? He went to go secretly get married. Why did he go secretly get married? Because nobody approves of that woman. They see exactly what she is for. Money. Ironic, the very next year he loses his job and she turns into the barracuda that she was all along. But he ignored it. And when I asked, so why did he marry her? He was alone. He felt alone and he felt he needed to get married. But why to her? He's settled. There you go. And it happens in business. People are lazy. I get it. People are lazy. That's what really separates the millionaires and billionaires from the common folk. They don't settle. They stay on top of problems and they don't lose money. They don't lose money. Warren Buffett says, here's his 3 rules that he goes by. Number 1, don't lose money. Number 2, see rule number 1. Number 3, if you invest $50,000 and you lose half of it, you now have to put so much more into it over and above 100% to get the 50% back. That's how terrible loss is. So you have to avoid the loss. So for the same thing in a relationship, if you get into a relationship and you can tell, all of these people say, oh, these women are, you can tell. These women are divorcing men, and you can tell, but for Americans are sex is so taboo, and it's so dangerous, and we can't talk about it. We can't. So then you have these people obsessed with sex to the point that they will marry a woman who is inferior just because of the sex. Inferior, not worth your time and money, not worth your effort. And then she turns around and pops out a few kids, gets a divorce, and takes everything, takes more money than you actually make. And they're trying to throw you in jail. You knew. You saw that coming. You knew. And don't say, I never saw. There was never any indication. There was never any indication? Really? Her parents live in a trailer. She doesn't have a high school diploma. She doesn't brush her teeth. What do you mean there was no? What do you mean there was no indication? Listen to Warren Buffett. Never lose money. Never. Never. Never take a loss. Never. Never. See it coming. Thanks for watching Shakaama Live Show.